Hello and welcome back to Princess Evangile. And interestingly, if my counting skills are correct, and while I may have a maths degree, my ability to count is kind of appalling. They're actually related. It's great. The better you get at maths, the higher tier stuff, the more of the early stuff you just forget completely. Multiplication tables, can't do them off the top of my head anymore. But anyway, yes, if my counting is correct, I think this is part 42, which actually now makes this officially the longest Let's Play series I've done. So there's that. It was the second day of the camping trip, and tonight they'd be having a campfire. That meant I got to stay at the lake, even after dark. The teacher skillfully constructed the scaffolding, and I was gathering wood for the fire when the students arrived in a big crowd. Salutations. Good evening. Salutations. 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 Good evening. The lakeshore was animated once more, and just seeing the people gather around filled me with a sense of expectation and excitement. I haven't felt this way since that night we fled our home for parts unknown. This is my first time participating in the campfire. Really? This is the main event, isn't it? Everyone sings songs and things like that. I'm so embarrassed about singing, I always freeze right up. They don't make us do solos, right? It wouldn't be possible with this many people. It doesn't matter how many there are. Singing in front of people is... You're a strange one, Konomi. By the way, what were we talking about? I was saying that this is my first time participating. Is that because you were afraid? Yes, it was. Afraid? Did you forget, Rai-san? Ayaka-sama... No, did you forget Ayaka-sama? Rai-san said she was afraid of fire. Oh, that's right. You've got a good memory, Chio. I guess it makes sense. You get good grades, too. Seeming to ignore Ayaka-san's comment, Chio turned back to Rai-san. Is it because of what happened that summer? Yes. Rai-san cast a glance at my direction. And Chio gave me a sidelong glance as well, but didn't say any more. Oh, that's perfect. So I was just refilling the glass on my desk, and just the end of the bottle has come almost perfectly up to the lip of the glass. Now here's the question, can I pick this up without spilling it? Dum 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 dum. Bugger. Hey. Victory. Joys of the family wobble. Sorry, a lot of you won't know what that means. Whenever I try to hold something in my left hand, my hand wobbles a little bit. It's nothing, major, and we've had it. But it's nothing problematic. My granddad's got it, my dad's got it, and I've got it. Hence the family wobble. It looks as if they're lighting the fire. At Rai-san's words, everyone turned at once to see, and the teacher lit the fire with a long, narrow lighter. The scrap paper began to burn, and in time the wood caught fire too. Which really is a grand sight. That raging fire. Yes, it's so much greater than the fire of a candle. It seemed only natural that Rai-san would find it uncomfortable too, and the sight of the flame would have to remind her of the arson. The long red tongues licking up at the night sky. Even from our distance, we could hear the logs popping and crackling below, and the people began to move in the same direction, gathering around the fire. We should join them. But will you be alright if you're afraid of fire? As long as we keep our distance. In any case, I can't simply turn back now. And so we joined the crowd. It makes me think of a summer festival. Of course, no one around us was wearing a yakuta. But still, the night air of the summer, the tightly packed crowds, the sense of fun, it all brought to mind the atmosphere of a festival. How much was I enjoying myself back then? I broke my promise to Chio. I didn't want to go any deeper down that road of thought, so I decided to talk instead. What do they sing? Folk songs? Folk? What do eating utensils have to do with it? Huh? What? Rai-san, folk. It's a genre of music. Ah, that's right. Gathering around the fire to sing folk songs. Seems kind of old-fashioned. That's how it's done, right? Perhaps, but we don't sing folk songs. At least, well, that's what I gather from Brightsan's reaction. I guess you sing hymns, right? No, more like old children's song. Burn, burn, and things like that. Ah. As a member of the choir, I'm very fired up about singing. But it seemed like the singing wasn't going to start yet. Instead, the students started sitting down in the sand around the fire. They chatted with each other about nothing in particular. Yet it was surely the power of the flame that imbued it with a special sense of meaning. Back then, it seemed like a wild beast, but now it was different. I could approach it calm. But it seemed like passing the Premier Judgment has given your own popularity boost, Miss Aircoon. I heard lots of people talking about you last night. Last night? You mean at the lodge? Yeah. Was it like that in your rooms too? Ayaka-san looked around the others and they all nodded. Yes, I suppose it was. It was like that in my room too. Wow. What kinds of things? What do you think? He's hot, I'm in love, and stuff obviously. Yeah, right. Are you sure of that? About half of what I heard was the same. Well, there were quite a few favourable opinions. I didn't hear anyone proclaiming love for you, but... wow. It was the same for me too. It was frustrating to see the effects of your sorcery spread, but... why frustrating? It's a good thing, isn't it? Yes, but... well, I am a member of the Red Rose Society, so I wish to see Masaya-sama's popularity remain as low as possible, right, Wanasama? Yes. Did you hesitate before agreeing with me? I don't believe so. It was much the same in my room. They're all enamoured with Masaya-san. It really got under my skin. Under your skin? That is... we're past the stage where their opinions of Masaya-san matter. We must instead begin to shape public opinion, and getting the school to make the right decision for the future. That is what we should focus on. Plus, you are jealous to the point of psychopathy. Psychopathy. In case you don't... psychopathy, as in being a psychopath, basically. She is crazy. That is true. But setting that aside, I believe that it is better for us that Masaya-san remain popular. Oh, of course it is. I was just in a bad mood, that's all. We all laughed as Raisan's face turned red. But you're pretty impressive too. What do you mean? After all, you basically started off as a pariah. They were all, who's this loser, and stuff. And now you're pretty much accepted. I'm really happy for you, and I don't just mean that as flattery. He's just a natural-born lady killer. Perhaps his title of Chantator Serpent was a suitable one after all. Well, I'm glad to hear that. While we were talking, the people around us suddenly stood. It looks as if they were about to start. The orchestra began to play, and we sang along. This is my first time singing in front of people. Really? Put it this way, I'm the kind of person who'll happily slap some decent tunes on my MP3 player or my phone or something like that, and then just walk down the street singing. Guess you're funny looks, but I don't care. It felt better than I'd expected, and when the song ended, it felt as if the bonds between us all had grown a little stronger. I'm sorry I had to be the one to accompany you tonight. No, it's okay. Sister Mishima had business at the dorms, so she had agreed to walk me home. My campfire really was nice. Masaya-kun, was it your first time? Yeah, never really got to take part in school trips and such. It must have been very hard on you. I nodded silently. Setting aside the question of how the vote at the end of the year will go, Masaya-kun, I hope you enjoy the year you have here to the fullest. Yes, Mum. Talk of next year can wait until next year, you know. But now that I've said it, you're thinking about it, aren't you? Yeah, a little. Well, that's only natural. The ability to think about past and the future is a gift given only to humans. Sister Mishima, what do you think will happen? With the ground vote, that is. She fell into silence, but that in itself spoke volumes. To be honest, I think it will be difficult. I thought so. You appear to be rather popular, but that is reflective only of you as an individual. It is not an opinion of men as a whole. And yet, that in itself is a foothold. And I believe that is exactly the reason why the chairwoman pushed for your admittance. Right. Realistically, we're past the stage where we need to worry about your popularity. Therefore, beginning with the second term, the question will rest more heavily on the activities of the association. That's true. Raisan mentioned something like that before about shaping public opinion. I'm aware that you've become friendly with the Red Rose Society members, but it is possible that that friendship will not last. I never really thought about that before. Ritsuki-chan, Konomi-chan, even more recently Mitsuki-san. It had become so natural to associate with them that I'd never even realised what that meant. But that's true. It's artificial, like mortal enemies trapped in the same boat. The White Lily Society and the Red Rose Society. However it was in previous years, at least this year they were being set up as true rivals. You're right, it is a bit strange. But that's only until the day of the ground vote, and when that's over, we call no side. No side was a term used in rugby to indicate that when the match was over, there were no more allies or opponents. Yeah, that's true. Miseko, do you know if there are any animals besides humans that can run a full marathon? Huh? Feeling like I was being quizzed out of nowhere, I froze up. I don't know, is there? The correct answer is, there isn't. Seriously? No animal on Earth that can run 26 miles? Why is that? I'm sure there's a simple reason for it in terms of pure biology, but I believe that first and foremost it comes down to effort. Well, no, ultimately it's because only human beings would ever want to. Yo, if there genuinely is nothing that can run 26 miles, that's because it's never had to do it. Yo, because, yeah, that's the point. You've got animals like the cheetah, which are incredibly fast, but that tends to be burst power because that's all they need to snag their prey. You know, and prey, while they need to be able to outrun anything that might be chasing them, they need to outpace them only for a certain amount of time before that, burst power subsides. So yeah, thinking about it, it could well be possible that no creature can run for 26 miles. Though you'd think some of the larger things might have a chance of doing it, but not sure. Effort? That is a virtue that only humans possess. Miseko, regardless of what happens, I hope you'll continue to work hard to the end. Yes, Mom. Day 14. Come in. Salutations. Salutations. Masaya-san, have you had lunch yet? No. It was 10 AM. Perfect. Masaya-san, the White Lily and Red Rose Societies are about to hold a joint Nagashi-somen? Whatever. Masaya-san, the White Lily and Red Rose Societies are about to hold a joint Nagashi-somen party. Nagashi-somen? It was certainly a term associated with summer. I always thought it sounded pretty opulent, but I'd never had much crossover with it in my old life. Will you come? Yeah, of course. When we reached the grounds, almost all the members were assembled, with stacks of bamboo nearby. Salutations. Oh, you're here too, Mitsuki-san. And what is that supposed to mean? Well, it's just... I thought you said you were spending summer vacation at home. I intended to, but some events like this one require association supervision. And I could hardly go home and leave it all to our underclassman leader. I see. I have been told that Ritsuku joined the camping trip out of a sense of responsibility for her position, so she is reliable. That's not it. She just wanted to have fun with Miseko. What? Oh, sister, please stop spreading those bizarre rumours. Yes, as you wish. Political influence will play a greater role as we begin the second term, and I feel an obligation as society leader to participate. I thought back on the conversation I'd had with Sister Mishima, coming back from the lodge. Very good, Ritsuko. That attitude is what I like best about you. Mitsuki-sama. I don't intend to go light on them either. My reconciliation with Rise-san is a separate matter, of course. The Red Rose Society will ultimately triumph on the grand question. That is all. I accept your challenge. Yes. Well, even if you must leave after this year, she turned her face to me. It won't be the end of our acquaintance. We could always see each other over summer vacation. That's true. But it will be so terribly sad to have a friend leave you after only 1 year together. It'll be like the fire has gone out in the school. I will lay a vase of flowers on Sir San's desk. I think that's a different situation entirely. No, you can't sway me with emotion. We're going to fight this to the end, okay? It's scary watching her do that with a smile. I'm sorry I kept you waiting, everyone. Konomi-chan came running up to the group breathless, with a long slender item in one hand. Ah, were we waiting on Konomi? I don't believe so. Konomi, what's wrong? I have fetched the brand. Brand? Like a brand name? I don't think that's Konomi-chan's style. Huh? But that long thing you're holding in your hands is... Naturally, this is no fishing rod. This is the magic sword, Slayer of Seven. Magical sword. It's called that because it's said to be capable of cleaving through 7 men in one blow. And? You get a half-decent sword, you can do that easily. I mean, don't get me wrong, they'd have to be really cooperative. Yeah, but with enough raw power behind it, yeah, you could put a blow through a whole bunch of people at once. There seems to be this common misapprehension that swords aren't that dangerous. You know, or they can't... You know, that if you hold out your hand and they slice into them, it's going to get stuck in the bone. No, it's just going to go straight through. You seem rather out of breath. Are you alright? To draw, not to draw? This is the palace? Palace? As the others stared at her dumbfounded, Konomi-chan finally began to draw the blade, and the cold steel glinted in the sun. Huh? Stop that. Ritsuki-chan grabbed the sword away from her, and Konomi-chan seemed to wake from her daze. What was I doing just now? That was close. What were you thinking, bringing something like this here? Ah, yes, that's right. I heard you were having a Nagashi summon party, so I thought you'd need to cut the bamboo. That's true, but did you plan to cut it with this? Yeah, I borrowed it from my grandmother's house for that purpose. We do have hatchets. Wanasama, this is for performance? Performance? I will brandish the sword you see, and all should be so moved by the sight that the Red Rose's popularity will soar. I think it might just plummet if they saw that glint in your eyes from just a minute ago. What? What did you say? That isn't true. Here, just give it to me. Ah! There is nothing threatening about my eyes. Here, a mirror. Yeah! She jumped a meter in the air, and the sword hit the ground in the same instant. Ritsuki-chan held it tightly to her chest. I told you, it is dangerous, and the teachers will be angry with us. Take this back now. If they see it here, we really will be expelled. I suppose you're right. Goodbye. Konomi-chan went running out the same way she'd come. Konomi really can act quite bizarre. But then the bamboo chopping can be exhausting. Perhaps that's why she thought of it. Ah, exhausting. We don't usually deal with bamboo. I see. I went over to the pile of bamboo, picked up one of the cloth-wrapped hatchets. In that case, I'll do it. Please do. Let's leave the physical labor to the boy while we prepare the noodles. Of course. Roger. I'll help. And the four of them headed back inside, while Ayaka-san and Ryuko-san remained. What about you guys? We decided to cheer you on. I don't think that's necessary. So tsundere. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, incidentally. You don't even know what that means. You got me. We're not trying to skip out at work, really, but no matter how skilled you are, you don't want to stay here alone, do you? Well, yeah, that's true. Oh, I fear I might accidentally upend one of the cooking pots. I thought it might be best to wait here. Yeah, that's true. I picked up one of the bamboo rods and looked it over. Oh, beg pardon. And looked it over. It's not like a log, so I probably can't split it the way I usually would. Plus it was long, and if I cut it into pieces, it'd be annoying to join them back up later. Does bamboo even grow on this mountain? They are donated as a gift from my family every year. Wow. In other words, the summer sermon party is produced by the Kamiyagi family. We own a bamboo forest, you see. Incredible. I finished my examination of the bamboo. I wonder if I might find a thin rod. Thin rod? The harder the better. There are rolling pins in the baking workshop. Will those do? Yeah, that sounds good. Could I borrow one? Of course. By the time Haruki-san returned with a pin in hand, I'd gathered a bit of an audience, and hoping not to embarrass myself, I set off on the construction. First, I swung the hatchet into the tip of the bamboo stalk to create a notch, and then I pressed the rolling pin up against the notch, while bracing the other end of the stalk against the building. Oh, I hope this works. I applied a little pressure, and with a sensation more like ripping than splitting, started cutting the bamboo stalk in half. Ah! The nearby cries of astonishment filled me with a small sense of pride. The bamboo was tough, but it was easily split if you ripped it along the fibres, and the stalks were quickly halved. I see. So that's how it's done. Next was the matter of the joints. If you let them in, they'd stop the flow of water. They'd left me an iron hammer for gouging them out, but I thought there might be a better way. Do you have a rubber mallet? Mallet? It's like a hammer. The one here's too hard, it'll break the stalk. I will inquire. They didn't appear to have a rubber mallet. I see. I'll just wrap the hammer in cloth and try that out then. I gave it a try and the joints popped out neatly. Whoa! And there was another round of impressed cries. I was feeling very happy with myself. Now, to create the bamboo tripods, I'll need you to help me with this one, Ayaka-san. Roger! In the end, after an hour's work, the stage was all set for the Nagashi Somen. I wonder where those noodles are. Yeah, Somen should boil right away. Allow me to call them. Rai-san, it's Ruriku. What? With soup broth? I see, I understand. What's the matter? Ruriku-san shut off the phone with an uncomfortable expression. Well, they thought the setting was going to take quite a long time, and it is a competition between the associations, of course. So they decided to make not just somen, but seaweed broth as well. Seaweed broth? They said it will take another 2 hours. And with perfect timing, my stomach growled. Is it finished already? Oh, Rai-san. You did it too fast. What on earth? That's right. It's standard for the lunch to be moved to dinner. That's why we decided to make the seaweed broth from scratch. I really wish they'd told me that beforehand. Does it usually take that long? Yes, at least until it gets dark. I see. But Masaya-kun finished it. Lickety-split. How did you do it? It always takes us so long. We always end up with so much wasted bamboo. Mitsuki-san looked up at the mountain of bamboo. Looks like you didn't waste any at all. And you've crafted it all so beautifully. I explained my method, and a pained look entered her eyes. I see. Well, I would do it. It seems so easy once you explain it, but I'm frustrated that I did not think of it myself. What should we do about the seal? Looks like everyone's already hungry. Well, you said it'd be lunch after all. I'm pretty hungry. Oh, let's just go with the store-bought seal then. When we did our taste test, I thought this one was the best myself. What are you saying, Rai-san? The palette is bizarre. What's that supposed to mean? This one is the clear winner, both in taste and in aroma. You're wrong. This is the winner. I think it's your palate and sense of smell that are confused. No, they're both good. That's right. Chia-san, whose side are you on? Ritsuki, whose side are you on? You know that I won't give ground on this point, Mitsuki-san. I will readily accept any challenge. We have a rather large crowd assembled. We'll let them make the decision. Agreed. You're about to see what happens when you spit at the sky. Spit at the... No, you'll see. The two continued squabbling as they headed for the building. Come on! The two exchanged a glance and shrugged. What else can we do? Well, let's go. Yes. I guess they're going to make us wait after all. The ultimate decision. I simply can't wait. You're being awfully generous with them, Ruiku. I'm just glad they're back to the way they used to be. Well, yeah, that's true. Or completely mental. And so, the stage had been set for some time, when at last the leading ladies appeared. Too slow! Boo! Boo! Oh my, booing. How rude. I know. At times like these, they were in perfect sync. Well, they're just hungry. I can assure you that it will be worth the wait. And she took the lid off the large pot, unleashing the strong smell of bonito broth. Wow! That looks delicious. This stock isn't just bonito, but mackerel and sardine. It creates a rich, complex flavour. And we've got more than stock. We've got a wide array of condiments, various types of ginger, onion, shishu, of course, shredded dried plum, wasabi, sesame seeds, boiled shiitake, ham, diced sweet egg, cucumber. Wow! Enough talking, let's just eat already. We are starving here. Fine, everyone! Rai-san clapped her hands. This is a competition between the White Lily and Red Rose Societies. Please pay attention to the flavours as you eat. We don't want you to confuse the Red Rose and White Lily offerings, so we've separated the dishes very carefully. Wouldn't you prefer it if they did confuse them? What are you talking about? Don't come crying to me later. Huh. Went full on Miss Piggy for a second there. Harumph! Water began running from the hose. Hey, it's coming down. Chio swiped some of the noodles from the stream. And the people positioned on either side of the bamboo started reaching in with their chopsticks. Oh, so good. I've never eaten such delicious somen before. It is delicious? Well, it really is. Oh, there's nothing more fun than Nakashi somen. Really. Wait, everyone, you're supposed to taste it! We heard her, but nobody listened. They were starving after all. And the noodles, which had once been piled up on top of countless baskets, were now completely gone. Alright everyone, it's time for the vote. Rai-san and Mitsuki-san both walked to the head of the crowd. Well, let me see. Those who thought the White Lily Society someone was better, please raise your hands. Silence. Huh? It can't be, I can't believe it. It's decided. Of course, I wasn't expecting it to be unanimous. You can't just declare the vote without asking. Those who preferred the red... That should definitely be Rise's line. You can't just declare the vote without asking. Those who prefer the Red Rose Society, raise your hands. Silence. What? Neither vote got any responses, and the two exchanged a glance. Maybe people couldn't tell the difference. I nominated myself to speak up. I think we were both so hungry and they both seemed really good. So it's kinda hard to choose between them. Oh, for heaven's sake, I told them to pay attention to the flavour. Really? Now, the people enjoyed themselves. That's what really matters. I suppose so. Yes. In the end, the Nagashi Somen party ended without a winner or a loser being decided. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, I think that's a pretty good point to end this part. Once we get past this. So, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next.